You going? Hey, it's Keith. What's up? How you doing? Gonna prepare the soup that I'm having today. So, been reading up a little bit on fasting. I'm doing mostly a blended fast. I'm sort of starting out with teas and water and a citrus juice concoctions, and then I do my juices. This is a juice I'm doing right here. It's going to be in the recipe. I'll tell you about it later. Was reading a bit in this book right here. A lovely book for reference, Healing with Whole Foods by Paul Pitchford. Awesome book for getting data. It's a little bit too soaked in the whole traditional Chinese medicine, so it's not necessarily raw food oriented, but it's a good place to get information. And of course, no surprise to me, which I know, that juice fasting, water fasting sort of prevents fat loss. Not that I'm after the fat loss, but and that's no surprise, because it just kicks in the sort of self-preserving mechanism of the body, of when it's starving, it slows down the metabolism. So I'm not going after fat loss. I mean, I'm at a healthy weight, but one thing I am doing is I'm going for, I want to get this six-pack, and I'll just go ahead and kind of show you where I'm at. Kind of getting down kind of skinny. Got a little fat to get rid of here. Got some kind of old man fat back here in my back. So I am looking to lose this fat, not necessarily weight. I'm going to replace it with muscle. So anyways, here's my soup that we're going to do for today. So the features of it today are a couple of wild edibles. The purslane, which is the awesome, well-rounded fat source, and that's a weed, and you should be able to find that. I'm gonna get a really good one of that. Okay. Got it? Okay. And it kind of looks like a succulent, sorta. Like if you look at the stems there, this one's a bit cut compared to some of the ones. I have some that are kind of longer. Okay, so that grows out in your garden almost anywhere. Anywhere. Even grows up here. Okay, so the other one that we're going to have featured is something I harvested down off the mountain yesterday when I was in the city at my friend who's an organic farmer. This one's lamb's quarters, or wild spinach. Get a close up of that one too. There's its leaves. Lamb's quarters or wild spinach. Now the two of them are often growing together, and the two of them tend to kind of be this kind of weed that like to be where we are at as humans. So anyways, so this one's going to get grounded up. The lamb's quarter I already juiced up. I got a ton of it. And so this juice is lamb's quarters and some apple and ginger and some stuff I don't remember, but that's all right. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna make. This is gonna be kind of sprouted, heavy sprout oriented, as with everything I'm doing. So this is sprouted red and white quinoa. It was soaked last night, and it's only sprouted for probably like maybe getting to be not quite 24 hours. So we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of that, and I'm measuring this out just for the hell of it because I'm trying to make a recipe book, and I realized I need to start documenting my stuff better. So there's 3/4 of a cup of quinoa in there. Buckwheat sprouts. I'm going to go for another 3/4 of a cup in there. Roughly, not super important exact measurements at all in anything raw. As far as that, any cooking really, even if you're cooking, the only thing where those sort of measurements need to be exact is if you're baking. And nobody really into any kind of health food is going to eat that much baked food. So that's 3/4 of lentil, garbanzo, mung bean. That's basically the mix I do. So we got half of it done there. 4 shallots in there. You know, we will go ahead and go with, I think, like all of the no, not all the purslane, because it's going to be filled up, so about that much purslane. And then I have the juice of 4 limes there, only because they weren't that juicy, but I like sour anyways, so that's going in there. And then we got the mix that I made here, which if you want to get how I did that, the technique for that, it's over here on my other channel. So, and when you're going into your ferments, and this one's been left out, by the way, I never refrigerated this one, and of course the peppers, onions, and garlic are so like anti-pathogenenic, nothing bad would dare go near that beautiful smell. So, just going to go for a bunch of that in there. This has a slight sour constituent to it. Okay. So I'm going to do some coconut butter there. You know, too much is good. And of course, sometimes when you're fasting, you might want to give your liver a little break for a while so it doesn't have to deal with that fat. Not that it's bad, but just every now and then. And you can usually tell, you know, at night if you're having too much fat. You can kind of tell by the way you feel sleeping and stuff like that. At least I can. Okay, so we're going to go with the Thai bird's eye chilies, which I get organic from Mountain Rose Herbs. And as you know, I like stuff hot. So we're going to do a little too much in there. That's probably 10 of those, and only 2 or 3 would be more than enough for normal people on in there. Going to do turmeric, because turmeric has 1,500 known cures, not the least of which is helping your joints, helping your connective tissue, helping all kinds of other stuff. In general, I'm sure it's overall helping with cell respiration. So probably what I'm doing in there is in the neighborhood of about a good teaspoon and a half. So also on there helping out with the driving the turmeric in, usually like some kind of pepper, which we already have in there, and a bit of cinnamon. So I'm putting roughly a half a teaspoon of, this is awesome Vietnamese cinnamon, which I got from, you can get it on iHerb. This has the most like whatever that cinnamon constituent is. So we put some rosemary in there. You know, that's a level teaspoon. Gotta watch this one because it'll throw food and then you'll never be able to get it back. And when I say throw food, it'll make it taste nasty and you won't be able to balance it out with anything. In my experiences, that's only with rosemary and sage. Okay, so I like a lot of cumin, so that's in the neighborhood of a good couple heaping tablespoons. I was going to cram a bit of some young Thai coconut meat in there, just to kind of round it out a bit, the taste of it. It's probably going to be really hard to turn over in this little thing. So I'm going to make it turn over. Oh, I'm going to put some minerals in there. That's the Vitality Boost HA from Morningstar Minerals. Some salt, just because the minerals, those particular minerals aren't that salty. Definitely want to, when you're making these soups, you want to improvise like me. You want to try to get all 5 flavors represented. And then after that, then you want to know your own specific taste. And the sad reason that most people don't know their specific taste is because they follow a bunch of programmed recipes and things like that of like, you know, the juice of half a lemon, 1 tablespoon of this or whatever. It's just like, learn what you like. It's going to take some trial and error, but don't be afraid to experiment. Just choke it down or throw it out if it's that bad, and make it better the next time. It's the only way you're going to learn your own personal taste is if you try. Alright, so the sort of whatever this is, and you can use any juice for this. I'm always using vegetable juice because probably water would go in there, but so just you could use celery juice just to keep it simple. But this is the lamb's quarters. I think I juiced up some purslane in there, some cucumber. I don't even remember it all. There's apples in there, there's carrot juice in there. And when I say apples, they're Granny Smith apples because I'm strict body ecology diet. I don't do any of the other apples. So that's going to go in there. And then we're going to blend this up. So with the NutriBullet, you definitely, as it's like doing a soup, pull it off, get that stuff ground down, and then shake it up, and then go. And that's the great thing about a NutriBullet over Vitamix is that aspect. Take it up, shake it up, put it down. Can't do that on Vitamix. So before all that gets all thickened up, shake it again. You want to keep your I definitely do too much material in this for what the manufacturer suggests. They actually have a line on there which I completely ignore, and it's got a governor on it, so you'll smell it when it's starting to get pissed off. And I'd say that's pretty much done. And that's exactly what I'm going for, is that nice creamy stuff. And drizzle a bit of olive oil in there because I like fat, because fat's good for you. Probably in your case, if you're new to this experimentation, you'd maybe want to taste it before you pour it out. If you got too much chili in there, put some stevia in there to you know, round out the hot. That's kind of like a whole Southeast Asian thing. But here we go. And that's a really incredibly complex flavor, just like I like. You can taste it all, the hot, the just everything. It's just really layered. It's what I love. Ready? Hey, so I'm gonna go for round 2. I'm still hungry, and I left, there's like that much of the soup that I made before still in there, so I do this frequently when I like something, and then I think about what other nutrients I want. The sprouted quinoa I'm really into, so I'm adding that again. The sprouted quinoa, I did want to mention that I didn't say earlier, this just sprouted like this, just goes right through me. So the protein profile is awesome on this for what I'm doing. And I also did not mention, I should say this again in another video, not only am I fasting, I'm getting into my high summer activity routine. And the 2 years before, I've had to eat cooked food to maintain my calorie amount to keep my energy going, which was millet and quinoa and sweet potatoes, which is usually the only thing I like cooked for the most part. And I was eating bananas. So this year, I'm doing this blended fast at the same time, and I think this doing the blended stuff makes it so bioavailable that there's like really no issues. Okay, so I'm doing the quinoa again, another 3/4 of a cup into what's in there. And I got some sprouted sesame seeds too, which I'm adding to my diet. I found a good source of these, like organic, that's not expensive. Everything I found that was organic was expensive. These were only $3.99 a pound. Locally on the mountain here. Luckily, a lot of stores up here are starting to carry organic produce now because it's in such high demand, which is great. Okay, my sesame seeds in there. And then I got this old kind of tomato. I cut off the nasty bits on it. It's heirloom tomato, so it's not very pretty, but it's awesome. So that. And then as nothing has enough sour in it to me, so I'm kind of don't want to use up my last of my limes. So this is all a bunch of grapefruit with the seeds, because the seeds are good for you. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend this up now, because I want all that quinoa and stuff to be annihilated, because the last thing I'm going to put in is a coconut. And if it's too thick, so I'm going to blend it, do a little pre-blend on it to make sure we sort of totally cream up all the sprouted sesame and the quinoa, because if it gets too thick, the little pieces just float around. So it's nice and liquidy, and we'll get this stuff totally annihilated. Improvising here as I go. Definitely want to get rid of the last of those lentils. I only have a little bit left, and this whole like improvised type of thing as opposed to recipes helps you get rid of stuff. So I'm gonna thicken it up with a bunch of coconut meat. All the milk or all the water, coconut water, is all being fermented, and so this is the meat that's left over. And I got this thing too full for what the manufacturer suggests that you do, but of course I don't care about that. Oh, you know what? And in the last batch, one super important thing I didn't put in there, wow, it's really thick, is the kelp powder. You've got to have that all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. And you know what? Actually, I really want to get my blood moving, so I'm going to put like extra chili in there. So I'm going to go with a habanero. That's a lot. And more bird's eye chili. I like to eat chili sometimes until I can feel it in my limbs. Okay, we need a little bit more liquid in there to turn it over. I can tell by the way it looks. So this is that whole all of that in there. Way too much in there, as the manufacturer suggests, but that's okay. Kind of getting that smell like. Alright, I got a little too much in there. I want to blend this down a little bit. It's too thick for me, so I have this little. Is that it? Yeah. So sometimes when I do too much soup and I want it to be a certain direction, I'll pour some off. So this is like my pour off thing, and then I'll probably turn this into something tomorrow. Definitely, I don't want it like that. I don't want it all like where those. What I was trying to get rid of is all those quinoa seeds and stuff in there still not annihilated. So. Alright, that's more like it. Still a little bit of seeds in there, but that's okay for a blended fast. I don't think I mentioned earlier that, you know, the remedy to the juice fasting is this blended fast, because you're actually getting some food in there that acts like normal food. So, I'm going to taste this, make sure it's okay. And it definitely is. Wow, and it's really hot this time. This is what I was looking for. So you can totally back that back down by putting stevia in there if you're on body ecology. Or something sweet in there if you're not. But you should be. Everybody should be on body ecology diet. So I'll probably just eat this bowl and I'll be good. And it's, tomorrow I have this and everything left over. And I already feel that heat going into my head. It's like, wow. And sometimes I'll eat so much heat and put a lot of stevia in there, I can just feel it like rushing down my arms, and I'm getting that right now. And that'll give you an idea of how quickly blended soup is bioavailable and ready to just pour into your cells and turn into energy, because it doesn't matter what goes down, you know, the tube. It's what everything absorbs. And all these soups, I'm loving this, and I'm especially kind of surprised to find out that I'm able to do this and be on this level of where I'm trying to increase my activity. And so I intend to, probably until my emotions kick in, if they do, because I've done a lot of breakthroughs, I have like carrying this blended fast on for probably a long time, and doing some other fasting, some water fast, 2 or 3 days in between. And weight loss is not my total agenda. My agenda is the benefits of fasting, which are the spiritual connection. My meditations are amazing. My awareness of energy, playing with energy throughout my body, becoming aware of all ends of my body. At times, especially when I've woke up, I feel like I'm almost aware of every single cell in my body. And that's a totally awesome feeling. So I think this is going to be a really amazing time, and I've made some major breakthroughs with the psychic healing, and it's time for this. It's time for this on a big level. And it's especially time for me to get out of worrying about eating food, and I just feel like I really need to remove from the matrix culture, and so this is a good way to do it, and to learn your skills of being this amazing ultra-dimensional, cosmic, spiritual, vegan monk. Alright, I'll see you later. That's what I'm having today, June 18th. Alright, bye-bye. Support me by supporting my music. Links in all 4 corners. Free digital downloads from my project, Second Culture. I got a new album coming out. All links in the drop down. Only way I make money, basically. And so you can check out all my videos, and lots of new stuff coming out. Alright, I'll see you later. Bye.